Hello there, one and all. Raziel here. So, quick question. Does anybody know what the word palindrome means? I absolutely love palindromes. I always have. It's basically a word that, when said or written one way or the other, is the exact same thing, which is perfect for the movie that we're discussing today, Tenet, starring John David Washington and Robert Pattinson, which in all truth is the first movie I've actually watched him in since the Twilight movies. Yes, I saw the Twilight movies. We'll talk about that another day. But first off, let me just say, I have to give the man credit. He actually is a pretty decent actor. Although I guess that could be said about almost everybody in those movies. Yes, including Kristen Stewart. Look up, what is it, Ultra America? Again, something we'll probably discuss later. But anyway, the point is, don't just automatically vote it off because he's in it. I know people are still upset about Batman and all that, but give the man a chance. I digress. The movie Tenet is best to describe a fascinating film. First off, it's it's a Christopher Nolan film, and if anybody has seen any of the Christopher Nolan films outside of the Batman movies, you know you're in for a trudge. And I mean that to the highest extent. This movie is 2.5 hours long, and you feel it the whole way through. I mean, it kind of felt like it was two movies, because the first half of this movie is all about world building. There is a lot of world to build. The trailers, if you've seen them, it leads you to believe it's about time travel. More or less this is true, but yet again, has anybody ever heard of a temporal fold? Because that definitely describes what's going on. I mean, Doctor Who would call it wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, but have you ever seen a movie where, halfway into it, your brain is just constantly screaming?
This shit, I'm out.
I swear, all joking aside, that is exactly how I felt the first hour and a half of this movie. And don't get me wrong, there were good moments here and there. Definitely some fantastic scenes I'll talk about a little later. It's just, folks, prepare yourself if you go to see this. It is long, it is daunting, and you need to pay attention. I won't even lie to you. There was a quick moment I dozed off for maybe about 3 minutes, and when my eyes reopened, it literally took me 5 minutes to get caught up. At least that's the bright side. Even though I dozed off, I was able to catch back up. But it was a hike. Now, in all truth, maybe I was just tired because I went right after work, but nevertheless, it's been a long time since I dozed off on a movie. Last one was Trolls. Anybody seen Trolls? Maybe you'll understand. Unless you're a Trolls fan, in which case I'm sorry. But I digress. So the plot of the story is pretty simple. Actually, basic, cut and dry. Washington's character, as you see in the trailer, is left to a difficult decision, which he makes, and it leads to him being recruited by a group. The group themselves, Tenet, they charge him to find a crew of his own and basically go about saving the world. It's basically a spy movie where he needs to find a way to prevent World War III. I know I'm being very vague, but honestly, once you get past the first hour, there's literally nothing I can say without major spoilers, and I don't like to spoil movies, but I will at least give you a few cliff notes here and there. I will say right off the bat, if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, definitely go and see this. If you're used to the long hike to a movie to get to the point, then this will be nothing different for you, and you'll enjoy it. If you enjoyed Inception, you may also enjoy this. I say that like that because I thoroughly enjoyed Inception. I followed it completely and understood what was happening. Tenet, there are moments that even though I was well aware of the temporal folds, my brain still just kind of went,
What the hell was that?
but it's okay. Without spoiling anything, because you actually see them both in the trailer, there are two particular scenes that, even to this moment, I'm sitting there thinking that was absolutely fantastic. One was as they dub, parachute scene, but just seeing it both ways, there are two ways of it, it was quite fascinating, and I couldn't help but sit there and think, I want to do that. That looks fun. But the number one scene I enjoyed, but also truly disliked, It was a fight scene. You see it in two different versions. You see one version where it's literally, the first time you see it, it's inverted, which completely made my eyes go sideways, thinking, what the heck am I looking at? But then again, later in the movie, you see it going the right way. But because of implements and elements of the movie, it's still quite jarring, where I'm like, oh, okay, now it's, oh no, wait, what the heck just happened? What? It'll break your brain just a little bit. As I said, even though you'll get to a point that you completely understand the mechanics of the movie and what inversion is, there are still moments where I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I understand this, but I still don't fully understand how we got to this point. Enter, supposedly, our big bad, Kenneth Branagh. I love Kenneth Branagh. He's one of those characters where he is shown that his clout is amazing, but at the same time, take Wild Wild West, for example, he can have fun and just not care whatsoever. I love his range. But in this movie, he was dull. I mean, wow. As far as Bond villains go, this guy literally put me to sleep. I didn't care. I mean, I saw what was happening. I know why he was acting the way he was. You know, insecurities are a mother. But I just didn't care. He was completely dull. And even when you get to the end point, I'm just like, really? This is what I sat through for? Okay, I mean, I might as well finish off the rest of the movie, but still, I'm sorry to say, quite disappointing. So, actually, there really isn't too much I can really say now without spoiling, but I will say, even though it was a trudge, once I hit the halfway point, I was entertained for the rest of the movie up until the ending. I doubt there'll be a sequel for this. There's no mid or post-credit scenes, but if there was a sequel, I'm not gonna lie, I would watch it, because the way the movie ends, it's very slight, but it's a slight opening that could say, we could continue the story to see where it leads. And if they do, I will check it out. I will admit, I'm probably going to have to see this movie at least one more time, at least, because even though I kind of understood fully what was going on, my brain is still kind of doing backflips, just thinking, what did I just see? So, Tenet. As I said, if you're a big Christopher Nolan fan and you understand his way of directing, by all means, go ahead and see this movie. But if you're going to this just because you want to see a decent spy movie, you know, on par with, say, Kingsman or James Bond, because some James Bond movies are a bit of a hike, I'll be honest, I'd say hold up, wait for it to go streaming. Sorry on Christopher Nolan and all that, also Robert Pattinson and Washington. It's just, it's not that I want my money back. This wasn't a terrible movie. It's just, I honestly feel, even with the world building, that if they chopped a solid 40 minutes out of this movie, they probably wouldn't have lost anything. Even some of the big reveals and surprises aren't really that surprising, because if you pay attention to what you're seeing, you're going to catch it really quick. There was only one reveal. You'll see it coming, but at the end, there was one reveal where, the more I'm sitting here thinking, okay, if there is a sequel, I wouldn't mind seeing how this came about. That's about it. So, Tenet. If you do go and see it, let me know what you think. Do you agree with my opinion, or do you think I'm just blowing smoke? Let me know. And I actually have a couple more reviews coming in the next couple of days. I hope you enjoy them. One is going to be for, forgive me, my brain's blanking at the moment. But one's going to be for Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. Actually, a very dear friend of mine requested that one. I'm a getter for that. The other one is The New Mutants, which I did want to see myself. I want to say I'm going to have fun with reviewing this, but if I'm being honest. Anyway. And the next one, it's actually an old movie, but one I just saw recently, which has me wanting to review some older movies. Buried, starring Ryan Reynolds, which was quite fascinating. Not gonna lie, just saying right now, if you have to choose, see Buried over New Mutants, but still, see Buried over New Mutants and Unhinged. I'm just saying. But I will see you all again very soon. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and may you have a fantastic weekend to come. I know I've been gone a very long time, and I greatly apologize for that. But luckily, a couple things have changed, and I might have just a little, not much, but just a little bit more time to start having fun again. That makes it sound like I've been hidden or something, but you know what I'm saying. Have a little more fun, talk with you guys about movies. For now, I'm mostly going to focus more on movie reviews and whatnot. As far as gaming, I've pretty much decided to stop, only because frankly, I like playing games just for the hell of it, but other than the Tomb Raider games, which I do intend to finish, all the other games I think I'm going to just put a kibosh on. Unless there's something you guys actually want to see me play or you want to see the story, by all means. Comment below. If you know me on Facebook, message me there. If you know me in real life, ask and I'll receive, and you shall receive. But otherwise, I think I'll stop on that. I am working on a couple of other things coming in soon, but that won't even be until, if I'm lucky, next year. But since movie reviews are not that difficult, and something else I'm gonna start very soon. I'm not even gonna jinx it, but I'll talk about that later. I will see you all again very soon. But until next time, everybody, take care.